December of 2013. A young boy just got a 2DS for Christmas and around $120 to spend. Naturally, the boy, only being 10, wanted to spend that money on games for his new 2DS. So he dragged both of his parents to the nearby GameStop. In there, he would hunt and hunt for games to play. He had been playing Smash on the Wii recently and had really taken a liking to Link in specific. Oh look, the Link game, he would think, grabbing a Link Between Worlds off the shelf. But he wanted another game. I mean, he had the money for another one, why wouldn't he? So he searched and searched through the 3DS games, and a certain game caught his eye. A white case with a blue X and a mysterious looking deer on the front. You see, that second game was Pokémon X. And that 10-year-old boy was me. I didn't know it at the time. But that day set me on a course to be a lifelong Pokémon fan. Playing every game, collecting the cards, the plushies, watching the show, seeing the movies. Everything started that day at the mall GameStop. Now, I'm not telling you all of this for the sake of telling a story or to waste your time, but rather to set the stage, to let you know what my mindset was for going into my first time getting to see the Kalos region again, even if it is just Lumio City, in over 10 years. Last time I was here, it was to explore a new foreign world to me, to learn what Pokemon was. This time, it was, for lack of a better word, to become the very best. At the start of the first day, I was absolutely riddled with excitement to start this game. Not that I necessarily had high hopes for it. I mean, Scarlet and Violet taught me better than that. But more so because I was just amped to revisit Kalos and see it with the new beautiful Switch 2 graphics. The game starts with AZ talking to two random people outside of a seemingly activated Prism Tower. We cannot allow more disturbances in Lumio City on our watch. Oh! Oh, it's AZ! The strongest Mega Evolution user must be found! Getting off the train and arriving at Lumios with my comically oversized bag, I had the thought of, what is inside this thing? What do I have with me? Do I have anything? I have 3 potions. I got 3 potions and no bitches. Alright. It'd be hard pressed to say that my introduction to Lumios was relaxing, considering within the first 10 minutes of me being there, a random person named Tawny requested me to be in her ad for her hotel, unpaid might I add. I had my bag stolen by a Pancham, had to take a Totodile from Tawny to battle to get my stolen property back. Then I got jumped and forced into a second battle. Then a group of people were going to battle me again before a Floette showed up and launched what could only be described as a nuclear weapon out of its flower. So yeah, it was a little stressful. Originally, Tawny asked for my help in the ad to draw more business into her Hotel Z. From my first impression, I like the plant aesthetic. I think you just want it to be a little more planned out looking, because it looks overgrown and abandoned and not like intentional. Nevertheless, AZ and Tawny offered me a free room so I can get a good night's rest before starting my adventure in Lumios. Hey, sorry, I know I said you should sleep, but can we talk for a sec? It's got its weird parts, but it's a good place. I like it here. I like the idea that every night there's the Pokemon equivalent to a purge. I owe AZ big time for all the help he's given me since I got here. I want to do right by him in return. Not to put you on the spot, but you think you could give me a hand? Yeah, I'll help out. These pink hair guys are so fun. They are. Thanks. That means a lot. Zygarde Cell! Chad, Chad, I'm such a Zygarde Cell. I'm so Zygarde pilled. I'm a Zygarde Cell. The next morning started with Tawny asking me to join the ZA Royale with her to protect Lumiose. She described it as a big Pokemon tournament that's taking Lumiose by storm. But realistically, it's more... Well, it's more like the Purge, if I'm being honest. Like, every night, there are just whole sections of the city blocked off for people to just go and battle to their heart's content. Like, there's no rules here. They just battle. And Tawny helped me actually download the ZA Royale app onto my phone and officially invited me to Team MZ. Okay, yes, so far, AZ owns and operates Hotel Z, in which lives Team MZ, who competes in the ZA Royale. Following? Good, let's keep going. Early in the game, AZ and Tawny keep talking about saving Lumiose City and freeing Lumiose City and her people with literally no context. But don't worry, we'll get there. First, I have to be introduced to Lyda, another member of Team MZ, and beat Tawny in a 2v1. Easy shit, honestly. Lock in Totodile. Oh, it's cooked. Oh, Tepig's cooked. Oh, he lived! Tackle. Fuck him up. Fuck him up! Oh, shit, she sells Chikorita. Chikorita's defense returned to normal? Wait. It runs out? Now, I can't just take on all of Lumiose City with just a Totodile, right? So I took off for Wild Zone 1. You see, wild Pokemon have been flooding into Lumiose. So to stop random Dragonites and Salamences from literally leveling city blocks, Quasartico Inc. Quasartico designed these wild zones for wild Pokemon to live in and keep the rest of Lumiose safe. Now, they've been doing this without any input from the local research lab. Kalos Lab, needing research done, was offering a reward. Bring them a Pokedex with 5 Pokemon registered in it, get a reward. And if you look at that, there's conveniently 5 Pokemon that spawn in Wild Zone 1. Looking at me. Okay. Let's go! Okay, now how do I catch it? Do I have to... I don't know if I... Oh, from fucking downtown, baby. Who's that? Weedle, you're mine. With that out of the way, let's just head to Professor Sycamore with my 5 Pokemon and... Where's Sycamore? What did they do to him? Also, isn't this lady like a terrorist? What did she do? Did she take a plea deal? Also, what happened to Sycamore? Hello? Well, anyways, Mabel recruited me to help her study the wild zones in return for cool rewards. My first reward, Rock Smash. But I promise they get better. You get like a shiny charm at some point. But teaching my Bunnelby Rock Smash, I was finally able to get back to Hotel Z at the end of the day. The opponent for your next promotion match has been decided. I'm facing trainer Zach. I'm gonna fuck this idiot up. With nighttime falling over the city, it was time for a proper introduction to the Royale. Also, at some point, I was introduced to Naveen, the other Team MZ member. I don't remember when that happened exactly, but he did give me a hat, which was kind of a bad hat, actually. I didn't like the hat too much. I immediately took it off, but still, he's here. He's cool. Thankfully, Team MZ did hold my hand through the first night, so I could learn the ropes. But little do they know, goats don't need help. Okay. Now I'm locked in. but I'm also not dumb enough to say no. If you approach trainers in battle zones, they'll start to become aware. You press L to crouch. If the trainers notice you and challenge you, you may be caught off guard. Interesting. Okay. Now, it wasn't long before I collected all 1,000 points necessary to get my challenger ticket to battle Zack. I didn't learn this until after the battle, but Zack has a nickname, Les Z Eternal, French for the Eternal Z. I think. I don't know. I don't speak French, but it's easy to see why. Considering I got my first Pokemon literally 24 hours ago, and I've already beaten him in a battle. In my victory over Zack, I was introduced to Emma, Lumios's best, and honestly seemingly only detective. But before I was able to talk to her too much, Tawny decided it was time to celebrate my rank up to Y. What better way to do that than a mixture of croissants and curry? Also with sleep, I think sleep would be nice too. Next day, your alarm is going off. Oh, snooze it. Snooze it. Snooze it. Why are we up already? Snooze it, damn it. Did we sleep with the hat on? Sitting downstairs in the morning, Tawny offered to show me Prism Tower, the building in the center of Lumios. It's currently under construction by Quasartico for reasons unknown, honestly. But on my way to the tower, the game made a grave mistake. It let me off my leash. So I took time, explored the town, checked out the second wild zone. I don't plan on using any of these Pokemon, honestly, but it's good for completing the Pokedex, and I also wanted to see which creatures were available to me in the new game. After finally deciding to catch up with Tawny and see what the now defunct Team Flare is up to, apparently brewing coffee? This section of the game is essentially like one big establishing shot. At least that's how I perceived it, right? Tawny brings you around the city so you can get your bearings, introduce you to other auxiliary characters like Vinny and Emma, just basic video gaming stuff that everybody's used to. But on the way to the Looker Bureau, Tawny and I got stopped by the Fists of Justice. These guys are essentially like a Pokemon liberation group that believes Pokemon should not be stuck in just wild zones, but have access to the whole city. And this is honestly the first time of many. There's clear civil rights integration era subtext in this game, and I will be pointing them all out because it is wild. Nevertheless, I battled Josie from the Fists of Justice just because, honestly. I then proceed to fill out all the benchwarmer positions more, and finally meet Tawny at the Looker Bureau. Emma then proceeded to ask me to take on commission work for her and solve some simple cases. Now, most of these are not actually cases, but just battles. But regardless, I obliged, and now on top of saving Lumios, I also have to help Emma solve all of the cases around the city. After solving a total of 1 case, I decided that the outfit given to me by Naveen was not gonna work, and this is a problem that needed to be solved right now. So I stopped literally everything to go on a shopping spree. Now, in Legends, there are 41 different stores, each of which carry a variety of items. Some are unique to that store, and some can be found all around Lumios. And there's seemingly a limitless amount of customization. Like, if I bought black pants with a white belt and then went to a different store and bought that same pants belt combo but red pants black belt, when I'm deciding my outfit, I can do any combination of those 4 pieces of clothing. And that exists with every clothing item in the game. It's actually kind of insane and a little overwhelming. But after a mere 20 minutes of looking at every single store in the game and getting my hair redone, this is the outfit I decided on. That handled, I can actually get the other 2 quests done. One of them was to handle an Alpha Bunnelby. I mean, this one was simple, not even a worry. But the other quest, that one was special. Trade a Pikachu for a Heracross. Boys, the Heracross, baby. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I now know how iconic this Heracross is. But in my playthrough, He just sat in the PC the whole time. Back at Emma's bureau, though, the secret keeping doesn't stop with Donnie telling me that she's looking for someone and that's why she's here. But thankfully, Emma the detective doesn't believe in secrets and immediately tells me about Mega Evolution. Immediately after challenging me to a battle, so I assumed she was just gonna Mega Evolve a Pokemon and mop the floor with me. Earth power, but that ended up not being the case. She actually just used a random Mareep and showed me Mega Evolution with her Ampharos she kept in the back. Emma also told me that she was investigating a black four-legged Pokemon. I wonder what Pokemon that could be, huh? What possible black four-legged Pokemon could we be investigating, Emma? Not thinking about that too much. Time to rank up again, baby. This time all the way up to rank X. Only thing to do is run around the city and kill this quarter of a day while waiting. You can chill on benches? No way. They are anti-homeless benches. You're right. That's crazy that they did that. While running around the city, I decided, no time like the present, let's take care of some side quests. One of these was to battle a little guy trying to fight a taxi cab. Free? Three rounds later, he was finally willing to join me, seeing as it's probably better than fighting a taxi cab every day. Now, I'll be honest. I'm not Chespin's #1 fan or anything, so this was cool. However, it did tell me one thing. Somewhere in the depths of Lumio City, there would be a side quest where I could be reunited with my friend, my first starter, Fennekin. While roaming the streets loosely of Lumios, still waiting on night, no, that's not a joke, something magical happened. Croconaw! Yep, that's right. Clock it. It only took me 3 hours and 45 minutes to evolve my starter, and not a moment too soon. Since nighttime has come, it's time to show Lumio City what Croconaw can do. This was the first night I was introduced to the battle cards to get more points. Since every tier requires more points, just a simple way to make the whole process easier. So this night was super easy, and I hit the promotion ticket on the night super quick and was immediately ready for the rank up fight. But I had so much time left in the night, I figured I'd just spend some time farming the NPCs for medals in order to make this a more profitable night for all parties involved. And honestly, it worked out great, considering at the end of the night, Totodile, Fletchling, and Mareep were all able to evolve. So honestly, the core team was looking like it was in a pretty good spot. Once I was done with that, I battled Yvonne. And honestly, okay, first, the battle was super easy. I mean, it was a clean sweep. But this is when I started paying attention to what the NPCs say they would want to do when or if they hit rank A, because when you hit rank A, I guess Quasartico grants you a wish. And like, Yvonne just wants Lumios to have a marathon. Like, can we not petition for something like that? Like, why do we have to go through Quasartico to get that done? Is this not something the city of Lumios can just do? Like, we have a city hall. Does everything have to be funneled through Quasartico? Is that the neo-capitalist dystopia that this game exists in, where a company that privatized everything and runs the city also doesn't let anything else happen unless they say it's okay? Like, it's a marathon. Anyways, after a night of sleeping in the clothes I spent all day running around the city in and not washing them, I quickly battled Naveen, clocked some quick evolutions for the Pokedex, and was off for the day. I then spent a good amount of time running around the city, completing side quests, getting more Mega Shards, and doing somehow even more shopping. Now, zooming out, looking back for a moment, I think this is when I really started to fall in love with it. Just getting to run around the city, interacting with all the people, exploring all the nooks and crannies, seeing the Pokemon out and about, it was all really nice. I actually explored for so long that I used up the entire daytime just exploring. And before I knew it, it was time for another Royale. And I'm just going to skip over this one, to be honest, because it was more or less the same as last one. And from here on out, they're all kind of just the same. It's just me farming the other trainers in Lumio City for some of those sweet, sweet promotion points. With my points out of the way, it was time for me to battle Xavi. Xavi? I really don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, like always, I kind of made mincemeat out of him and hit the easiest rank W of my life. The next morning, while talking to Lita, AZ told us he really doesn't care if the hotel's busy or not. He just likes the vibe, which, like, honestly, go AZ. But Lita left her things behind, so I got a quest to give her her things. And when I headed out, I decided on a plan. I think I'm gonna build like a good team of 6, beat the game, and then go back and complete the deck. I think that's a good plan. I like that plan. Classic Revels fashion, I obviously couldn't head straight to Lita and give her her things. I had to complete some more side quests first. One of those was, of course, Froakie! Still not my beautifully gold fox, but we're getting close. 2 out of 3. Fennekin's the only one left. It's also here that I want to take a chance to point out one of my actually biggest critiques in the game. The side quests. Now, I don't know if I'm misremembering, but it feels like there's like, what, 120 in the game? Most of them are battles, and that just like gets annoying after a while. Fuck all that. I found the Fennekin quest. My child has been returned to me once more for us to conquer the Kalos region together. Now, even though Destiny has so graciously brought Fennekin and I back together, I cannot simply add it to my team. You see, my goal is to complete the Pokédex, and with Fletchender already at level 24, it's pretty much already Talonflame, so I decided to just ride it out until then. After that, Fennekin can join my team. Now, with all the running around and doing side quests and generally enjoying the game, I forgot, what was it I was supposed to be doing again? Oh, yeah, I was supposed to give Lydia her stuff. But I did eventually complete all of the side quests available to me and did return Lida her things. Also, sometimes in a clip, you might hear me call her Lydia. I think it's more of like a I can't read thing, to be honest. So just be patient with it, okay? Now, when I did bring Lita her stuff, she, in classic Pokemon fashion, asked me to a battle. And Lita, you see, she's a water-type trainer. And I have a Flaffy, so it wasn't close. She lost by a country mile. Oh, hey, by the way, speaking of Flaffy. Oh! Now, after making the most obvious sheep swap of 2025, the next thing I had to do was just wait for nighttime so I could rank up again. So to kill some time, I decided to complete more side quests and check out the Lumiose Museum. I think personally, the Hisui callback is kind of awesome as someone that loved the first Legends game. And like the mention of Volvo delivering his outfit himself. Overall, I think the art of the museum is really cool. And a lot of it shows off parts of Kalos I remember most. Like the cave I definitely got lost in at some point, and the huge statue of Lucario. Yet again, day must always become night. And with that, it was time to partake in the Royale. This night was much like all the nights before, where my beautifully crafted team of 6 strategically stomped out the competition. But unlike other nights, unless you count the other night that it happened, Reap evolved into Flaffy. Now, my rank up battle this time was against Rintaro the Waiter, who only had 3 Pokemon. The Unova Elemental Monkeys, which if you know anything about the Elemental Monkeys, this was kind of another free one, to be honest. But it was after this battle that something really interesting happened. It's Emma. Pokemon Look For is in your area right now. Zygarde in its 10% form. Zygarde appeared, and Emma asked me to follow it wherever it was going to help with her investigation. When following Zygarde, it took me to a random rooftop with an Absol on there at risk of rogue mega evolution. And the solution was, of course, beat the shit out of it. Also, side note, I was so hyped to get my Mega Bracelet, completely missed Lucario hit this sick-ass superhero landing. Now, I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm a huge fan of the Rogue Mega Battles. To me, they're like the Gigantamax or Terastallization raids from previous games, but like, they work. Also, there's something else about them down the line that I think is really funny, but we'll get to that later. For now, it's just me and Lucario versus this Absol. And can I just ask, AZ, Rock Smash? Really? There was no better move for Lucario than Rock Smash, the 40 base power move for your level 28 Lucario? Terrible move set aside. Lucario and I calmed the beast and I obtained my first Mega Stone, Absolite, and the Absol to go with it. The next morning, Tawny got a call from Vinny at Quizartico where he wanted to fill us in more about Rogue Mega Evolution. But first, Tawny decided she had to vibe check my ability to Mega Evolve. So I quickly rolled and smoked her in a battle, then we were off to see Vinny. Being at Quizartico is when we get another integration era subtext line of dialogue. See, there's two Dedenne that are guards for Quizartico. After defeating them, a representative walks out and essentially says, well, if Pokemon have to live here, might as well employ some of them, but they aren't good at their job. And like, what? Other than that, Vinny tells me and Tawny they're looking for the strongest Mega Evolution user in Lumiose to handle the problem they're facing. And he also offers both of us a little bit of nepotism, saying we can go from rank V all the way up to rank F. We just have to beat Vinny in a battle. So the task was clear. When the sun went down, it was time to once again run the pockets of Lumiose City citizens so I can hit rank F. But to kill the time beforehand, I decided to check out Wild Zone 7 and catch some of the new Pokemon. And it was in Wild Zone 7 that this happened. Yes! Talonflame, baby! Oh, and this happened too. He's here! Hey! Feraligatr! Now with two fully evolved Pokemon, I was ready to conquer Lumiose battles tonight. The raw strength of what is now Feraligatr, paired with the swift attacking from Talonflame, nothing can stand in my way. Except... Talonflame is fucking washed. Delphox better. Delphox on top. I just need to evolve Fennekin first. But now with Feraligatr by my side, it was time to do some expert level sneaking around with him to get all my points. Okay, Feraligatr, you're going to make it really hard to sneak up on these people. It was around this time in the game, I started to move incredibly efficiently through the battle zones, hitting my challenger ticket in only about 7 battles. So, I wanted to spend the rest of the night just actually farming trainers for money, wanting to just limit test how high I could get. When night started coming to a close, I had 20 battles and like 2.2 thousand medals or something. I honestly gave up on the farming because I hadn't yet noticed the clock going around the map and was under the impression that the time in the game wouldn't progress until I battled Vinny for the promotion match. I just want to say, Vinny's team is so funny because it's like Houndoom, the dog from hell, Sharpedo, the battle-worn shark, Mega Drampa. Mega Drampa? Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. But after Mega Drampa, it's like Baneri, normal rabbit. Like, bro, what is Baneri doing there? Also, Mega Drampa? Ooh! I mean, check it out. It looks kind of like the dragon thing from Dragon Ball that you summon when you get 7 Dragon Balls that I don't feel like Googling the name of. Both Vinny out of the way. Time to climb the ladder. Let's go. Tawny also defeated Vinny in battle, and I got to make my $52,000 from the night prior. And also, more importantly, evolve Fennekin into Braixen. One step closer to being reunited with my lifelong friend. Inside, Vinny gives us a large lore dump about how this has actually been going on for 2 whole years. 2 whole years? And how it was AZ's plan to start the Royale. Now that Tawny and I had high enough clearance to get this information, Vinny essentially told us that the duty of handling the rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon would all but land in our laps moving forward. So, like, thanks, Vinny. I appreciate that. It's starting to feel like everybody in this city is super willing to just pawn their problems off onto me. I just got here 3 days ago, guys. But regardless, Vinny pretty much told us just like stand down, stay back, wait for us to contact you. So I figured what better time to just explore some of the new wild zones, see what I can find. Go back. Wait, shit. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't have anything else I can throw at it. Okay, just bite it. Damage it a little more. Oh, he's frustrated. I can't fight him right now. I can't even try and catch him. Oh. Why is Carbink so hard to catch? Who decided this? It's like less cool, not mythical Diancie. Why is it so damn hard to put the rock in the ball? I don't get it. I don't even like Carbink. I just need it for the Pokedex, but it sucks. It won't catch. While I was trying to get more Pokemon, though, Mabel called me back to her office. So naturally, I ran over immediately, thinking she was going to give me Tepig and Chikorita for research purposes or whatever. But lo and behold, I was yet again met with the Kanto starters. Initially, I thought I was just going to get all 3. But I should not have been that naive and should have known she was going to have me make a decision as old as time itself. Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle. Each of the 3 has pluses and minuses, of course. Bulbasaur, the last piece needed to complete the starter trio in my party. Squirtle, with Mega Blastoise's return, Water Spout is potentially game-changing for me. Or Charmander. With both Mega Y and X, the possibilities and are limitless the niche it could fill. Yeah, I chose Charmander. Basic, I know, but no matter which one I chose, they were just going to sit in the box anyways, so it didn't really matter. Anyways, back to Wild Zone 9. Nice. To be honest, other than Carbank, Wild Zone 9 was fairly tame, especially compared to my next target, Wild Zone 8. This Wild Zone is infamous in the community now for just being a war zone. Drillbur coming from everywhere, Machop, Sandile, Krokorok chasing you down constantly, and the occasional Gibble that spawns. You see, Gibble isn't bad, you just have to like not kill it while trying to tame the chaos. Oh, and Numel's here too. It's honestly easy to forget with everything else going on that there's kind of always just a Numel in the corner chilling, waiting while like the world collapses around it. But you know what all of these Pokemon, or at least most of them, have in common? Water type weaknesses. So after the initial chaos, battling Pokemon wasn't as hard, and I was able to keep it tame with Bubble Beam. I decided this night to skip the Royale in place of trying to fill out some of the nighttime spawn slots in the Pokedex, which ended up working out well because both Kirlia and Flaffy evolved, meaning that almost the entire team was done. We were just waiting for Pancham, who, yes, is still here, and Braixen. Now, I did eventually have to give up on my hunt for a Gibble, so I decided to diversify my efforts and hit up some of the other Wild Zones, starting with getting a Honedge in Wild Zone 4. Then I followed that up with a Watchog from Wild Zone 10, before going back to Zone 8 and actually getting the Gibble I was looking for. After catching those three, I had every wild Pokemon available to me except Audino and Shuppet from Wild Zone 11. Thankfully, both of them spawned immediately, so I tried to pre-damage the Audino. Of course. Dude, you can't just obliterate the fucking Audino. Yeah. Ralligator's getting a little strong now. But Shuppet was caught without any problems, thankfully. Met back up with Tawny at the Nouveau Cafe, where we bumped into Naveen. Now, here is where Naveen's tier 3 sub tendencies really started coming out. He actually went on a whole ass rant about how awesome Canary is and how we shouldn't even dare battle her because she's just too strong. But not to count him out, Naveen has actually ambitions of making Canary's merch, which is admirable, to be sure. But before Naveen could make himself pass out from thinking about Canary for too long, Tawny got a call, and it was time to battle some more rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon. God, that's a mouthful, isn't it? I also decided to spend some XP candies to finally get Pangoro so I can switch Absol out for Honedge, filling the last spot of the team. Now, for now, the final team is looking like Feraligatr, Delphox, Gardevoir, Ampharos, Pangoro, and Aegislash. But at least that's the plan. We, of course, still need Braixen and Honedge to evolve, but so far it's looking like a pretty well-rounded team, I would say. Now, you all know I have my priorities straight, so looking into the face of an imminent threat that requires my immediate attention in order to save Lumiose, and with everybody waiting for me back at the hotel, I, of course, led some Trubbish away from a local cafe, removed a Diggersby from in front of an elevator, and somehow did even more shopping. Checked out the Stone Emporium for the first time, and even got kicked out of the fanciest store in all of Lumiose. With all that out of the way, I guess I can take some time out of my day to save the city or whatever. There were 3 Pokemon going rogue across Lumiose. A Slowbro in the Blue District, a Camerupt, and a Victreebel. The team decided the best thing to do is have each person go to one of the Mega Evolution sites and wait for me and me alone to show up. That way, everyone can take turns sitting in the backpack. But before we left, something important happened. What's up? You can't savor being part of the chat when you're watching from the archive. So true! And you know what? Naveen is right. You can't get the full experience without seeing your favorites live. Which is why if you want the full Revels experience, you should check me out live, twitch.tv/JohnRevels, or live right here on YouTube 2 to 3 times a week. Who knows? I might just react to something you say in the chat. But before heading off, AZ stopped to give me a special gift. Mega for alligator, baby! With that out of the way, I figured the best place to start with saving the city was the closest, Slowbro. When fighting the Slowbro, I couldn't help but notice, doesn't it seem like sometimes Slowbro is attacking me instead of my Pokemon? I mean, I'm sure I'm just crazy and that won't be a thing later, right? This was also the first time I got a good look at Mega Feraligatr. And hot take, I like it. I know some people say it looks like a toilet bowl, and like I see it, but I think he's cute. He's just like bigger Totodile. Getting back to the Slowbro battle, he was kind of beefy. Definitely didn't help though that Tawny was using moves like Spark and Fire Fang. Huh? It was more or less up to me to do it with Feraligatr. Now next was Camerupt. How did a Camerupt get up here without anybody noticing? And honestly, I'm glad to see that Lida had the same reaction as me. Now you see, Camerupt is doing the same thing. He's just jumping to me, hitting moves directed at me. Like, what did I do? Why is it mad at me specifically? That's all to say that the Camerupt fight went smoother than Slowbro. And Lida was a way bigger help than Tawny. It's not like she was using amazing moves, but, you know, at least Aqua Jet and Water Gun are super effective, unlike Fire Fang. Down, 1 to go. Mega Victory Bell is the only one left. Now, thankfully, even though Feraligatr only has Ice Fang to use against Victory Bell, like I said, Victory Bell just not interested in battling Feraligatr, and it is instead bloodthirsty for me for some reason. So all of like the Seed Bobs and the Vine Whips just came at me. So Feraligatr was easily able to dodge a lot of the attacks, but somehow still managed to stand in the huge, hard to miss puddles of ooze. But with the combined power of Feraligatr, Braixen, and Gardevoir, Mega Victory Bell was no match. With all 3 Pokemon quelled, I saw it fitting to complete a couple other side quests before heading back to the hotel. Before going in, Zygarde challenged me to a battle. I think after seeing me calm the Mega Pokemon, Zygarde wanted to test if it was a mistake or not. But Zygarde is 4 times weak to Ice. So after I beat Zygarde in a battle, it handed me a Pebble. Quickly after getting this Pebble from Zygarde, a certain old man approached me. Okay. Is that a Zygardeite? Mega Zygarde? So you're the one. The Pokemon trainer that's earned the attention of Zygarde. Who are you? Lysander? Surely you sense it as well, the disturbance that threatens order in Lumiose. Mega crystals are erupting all over the city. The strange force, Mega Power, has emerged. And wild Pokemon are succumbing to rogue Mega Evolution. Are you prepared to defend order in Lumiose? Can you face this task and not falter? A good reply. I see now why Zygarde took notice of your efforts to help the rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon. Zygarde has chosen you. Do you understand the meaning of this? You must become a Pokemon trainer worthy of standing at Zygarde's side. Dude, Zygarde has an asshole. He got a butthole. I know who owns this place, that 3,000-year-old man. He will face his sins, but that can wait for another time? Lysander? Lysandre? When I reconvened with Team MZ back at the hotel, I got my promotion match assigned to me, Canary. So naturally, the entire team turned to Naveen for information about how to find Canary so I could battle her. Naveen, faithful tier 3 sub as always, forced me to battle him in order for me to get any information. Now, Naveen was no match for my team, and told me exactly that Canary holds weekly quiz whiz contests where the winner can ask any favor of Canary. You know how this goes at this point. Do the side quest waiting for the sun to go down, take my Pokemon to the battle zone, spend the nighttime farming more money, getting my promotion tick. It's all the same. Nothing crazy happening with Lumios' nightlife now. At the end of this night, I had won 19 battles and gotten 3.8 thousand medals, which means I got a smooth $76,000 deposited into my bank account. Now, writing out the number 76,000 made me wonder, how much is rent in Lumiose City? Like, in the real world, $76,000 is a decent salary. Like, in some parts of the country, you could buy a house with that much money. But if you assume that an average Lumiose resident can get $50,000 a night in the Royale, which wouldn't be hard, it's like 500 medals and like 10 battle wins, then in a normal working month, they bring home like $1.1 million. So is rent like $300,000 to account for that? But then you also have to ask the question, what about the people that don't participate in the Royale because they just like work normal jobs? Do they also get paid $1.1 million a month? Honestly, I think we need someone on the case on this one. Promotion ticket in hand, Naveen told me to head to the Magenta District to compete in the Quiz Whiz contest, the opportunity to meet Canary. Now, I just want to say, if Naveen is a tier 3 Canary sub, then this guy I met at the contest is for sure one of her mods. All that aside, it was time for the quiz. Naveen was zero help. Like, he gave me this earpiece and kept telling me, I'm here if you need me, instead of just telling me the answer. Thankfully, Naveen was more help in round 2, with actually just telling me answers, like where to get the correct Lumiose Galette that her Electros likes. The final round of the quiz was to battle Canary's mod to decide who gets to meet her. I honestly think if this guy took a fraction of the energy he puts into banning people in Canary's chat into raising his Pokemon, then he honestly might have fared better than this. Finally, I can battle Canary. Now, before I can battle Canary, Tarragon had something to tell me, but he wouldn't say unless I battled him. And it's in this battle I got introduced to Mega Excadrill. This Mega Evolution is fine. Like, I get what they were going for. I just don't know if personally I'm a fan of the concept, but it was still cool to see it. And it's then Tarragon told me a secret. Tarragon actually runs the Quiz Whiz contest. So turns out Canary does not give a flying fuck about her fans at all and outsources the task of interacting with them to her grandpa entirely. So I'm just going to come right out and say it. I think out of all of the NPCs in the game, you battle Canary the most. More than Tawny, more than any other member of Team NZ, more than Tarragon, more than anybody. I think I battled Canary the most. That's all to say, my first time battling her, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I could assume she was an electric Pokemon based on, visual clues. But other than that, I had no idea. So I kind of just let it rip and started the fight without any ground type moves on the entire team. But it worked out okay. Me and Canary kind of went 1-for-1 on Pokemon. And yet again, I got to see a new Mega Evolution. Mega Electros. So I responded with Mega Feraligatr and just stomped Electros into the ground. I'm getting a spam call right now. Don't they know I'm fucking gaming? Afterwards, Canary pretty much called my bluff and gives me a special piece of autographed merch to give to Naveen, which I made sure to do that night over croissant curry. Of course, he was very appreciative. The next morning started exactly how I would have wanted it to, with both Honedge and Braixen evolving. So now, with just needing a Dusk Zone, the team was finally on its final form. There were also a couple of new Wild Zones added to Lumiose. And in one of the Wild Zones, I had my first Blackout. And it was against Stunfisk, of all Pokemon. a Beedrill in Sector 5, Hawlucha in Sector 3, Banette in Sector 9. It was time to handle the next set of raging Mega Evolutions. I mean, like, seriously, when am I going to get help around here? On my way to Beedrill, I decided that when I do eventually find one, Pangoro will be getting swapped out for Goomy, eventually Goodra. I know. How dare I turn my back on Pangoro? But in my defense, its move pool is so bad. Like, how do I justify this when Goodra exists? Tawny also introduced me to Roto Gliding, which a little weird for her to hide that from me for so long, but I'll take it, whatever. In the Beedrill fight, there's this interesting shift where previously the Rogue Mega Evolutions were kind of battling me, kind of battling my Pokemon, but now they are exclusively battling me. I also want to point out that we are battling a level 41 Beedrill, and Tawny is still using Tackle. Back to the task at hand, Mega Beedrill was still kind of easy. I mean, Gardevoir at this point has Calm Mind and Psybeam, so suffice to say, she made quick work of Beedrill. At least when she could, considering I spent just as much time dodging attacks as I did commanding Gardevoir. After the Beedrill fight, this construction worker came up and started asking questions. So, like, do we kill him now? I feel like he knows too much. Also, the Hawlucha fight came with complications. Have either of you seen a Hawlucha around here? We're looking for one. Suppose it could have flown off somewhere. Maybe it wandered into a wild zone. The Hawlucha isn't my Pokemon, mind you, but I come here now and then to give it some food. Sounds like you really care about it. You must be pretty worried now that it's gone, huh? If you do find it, please let me know. I'm gonna fucking kill it. Can I be honest? I'm going to fucking kill this Hawlucha. And kill it I did, baby. Made mincemeat out of this lady's friend. Obliterated it and turned it into this tiny stone for me to keep forever. And with that out of the way, the only one I had left was Banette. And we all know the story at this point. I meet Naveen. They use moves like Poison Jab with their Area Dose, and my team does all the work. Except this time, Zygarde was watching, and so was Elle. And different still compared to last time, Zygarde acknowledged me, and Elle spoke to me. He pretty much told me that Zygarde can't Mega Evolve, so I just have to be a better trainer with and without Mega Evolution to earn Zygarde's trust. Elle also said he doesn't understand why Emma is so suspicious of him. And if I had to guess, I doubt that detective would be hunting me and Zygarde if she knew its intentions. I wonder why she finds me so suspicious. Dude, because you were literally trying to end the world. He was literally trying to end the world. I think that would be a good guess. I don't know where else to fit this in, but throughout the game, I was looking for Flabébé for the 5 different colors of Flabébé quest, and at some point, my brain broke, and I started calling them Flaboobos, and that is just like, I think it's stuck with me forever. I think for the rest of my life, Flabébé will always just be Flabooboo. When I got back to Hotel Z, and everyone was hitting their woe is me, that was so hard, I got notified that Ivern would be my next rank-up battle. So, once nighttime fell about Lumiose, I knew what it was time to do. Wait. This guy has a weird affinity for dragon flying types. Too easy. I'm gonna get like 5k points for that. Once I was done making money, it was time to spend it. Check this fit out. Tripped out of my mind, no? I ran to the dojo to find Ivor, and I was met with Josie asking for a rematch. She still only has 2 Pokemon, so Gardevoir just handled it. Josie explained that Ivor has been looking for his sister Gwen all day. And Ivor explained that he can't battle me because he has to find Gwen because Gwen keeps his phone for him. In that, paired with how he entered the dojo, makes me seem like this is a healthy relationship. Putting that aside, it was time to track down Gwen, and I couldn't do it alone. I needed help from Lumios's best detective. It was time to talk to Emma. Ivor had already made it to Emma, and immediately she started doing real detective work, asking Ivor questions and asking him to think logically. This brought us to City Hall, of all places. Once all three of us arrived, we started interviewing the people hanging around City Hall, because that's something people do, I guess. But eventually we learned that Gwen is always at City Hall because Ivor is always causing noise complaints. But afterwards, she headed off to a cafe in Centrico Plaza. That cafe was none other than the Nouveau Cafe. Cafe is becoming a little bit of a center point, isn't it? Wonder if that will have any lore implications later. Anywho, they let us know that Gwen was just here with Canary, of all people. And Canary said she would not tell me where Gwen was unless I battled her. So Canary battle number 2, here I come. After the battle, Canary said that she went somewhere where Ivor would not be able to find Gwen. So what do Emma and I do when learning this new information? That's right, baby. Continue the search. We're able to deduce that Gwen was hiding somewhere with a Clawitzer statue, which can only be found in Blue Sector 7. Furthermore, her secret base could only be accessed if you froze the waterfall, which was no deal for the guy that chose the correct starter. Inside the sewer, we found a gate that needed to be unlocked. Oh wow, look at that, a clef key. But none of Klefki's keys worked, so there was really only one option left. Since we cannot obtain the key we need, we must let my honed fist become the key. Our path will be opened thanks to my power. Justice Punch! With that, our way is clear. The sewers did lead to a dead end, or so we thought. Further investigation revealed that the back wall of this dead end was actually a faux wall. You could walk right through it. On the other side of the corridor, Gwen. Emma, of course, wanted to know what was going on, and Gwen wanted to battle. Is there Mega Chandelure, too? Oh, I binked it. I fuck. End of sentence. No, I'm kidding. I fuck with a Mega Chandelure. It's like one of those megas that's just like a logical extension of the evolution line. Finally, Gwen and Ivor were able to talk and seemingly get some reasonable boundaries in place where Gwen was able to air out her grievances and not be ridiculed. Gwen also asked me that I kicked her brother's ass in a Pokemon battle, so with no further ado, I like Mega. In my honest opinion, if you don't like Voltron Phalanx, then I think you lack whimsy in your heart, and that's not a problem Pokemon has to solve, it's a problem you solve. With a newfound rank, I think it was time for a well-deserved Kimbo break. Okay. We'll go. When I went down the next morning, I found just Naveen downstairs. No Lita or Tawny to be found. That was when Lita walked through the door sans Tawny and was able to give us more information. More information that was going to kick off what I think is the weirdest subplot in any Pokemon game I've ever played. Tawny wanted to film a new ad for the hotel, but she didn't have the money. So Tawny did the most logical thing that any sane person would do when they need it. She borrowed it from the Mafia. No, this is not joke. Tawny borrowed money from the Rust Syndicate, who is essentially the Mafia in Lumio City. Realizing I'm going to have to handle the Rust Syndicate problem on my own, AZ let me know not only are they insanely powerful, but they also have the local police in their pocket. So that's good. Before heading to the Mafia, I took some time to handle a couple of quick side quests. And what? The Hawlucha's back? You mean to tell me I didn't... What did I say earlier? Make mincemeat out of it? And it wants to battle me again? Okay, no problem. See, that was easy, nothing to worry about. Also, while doing my usual mulling about the city, I ended up in the sewers. And it's in those sewers I found Goomy! And I immediately swapped out Bangoro. But stick around, because this may seem like my final team. It's not. Probably going to want to see what else changes, right? After what was literally an hour of leaving the leader of the syndicate waiting, keep in mind, I still have no clue if Tawny is safe or not. I finally arrive at their front gates to talk to the two bozos keeping guard. Honestly, it feels like the Dedenne from Quasartico are more intimidating than these guys. And of course, they wanted to battle. And of course, they got smoked. Then came Philip to scold the two guards about how loud they've been, and then challenged me to a battle. And just look at this guy. He's insane. But setting that aside, the Philip battle was super duper easy. And I mean, Philip specializes in steel types and Delphox. So that was easy. Once Philip was done, he invited me into the Rust Syndicate, where he proceeded to farm Aura by having all the grunts block me in. At the end of the road, through the doors, much like Dorothy and Oz, was my man behind the curtains, Chicken Cordon Bleu, Corbeau. Corbeau is the actual Don of the Mafia, and Philip turns out to just be his number 2. Now, I've never personally watched a Mafia movie, nor have ever been part of a Mafia, but this feels like a common trope, right? Like a big beefy dude presents himself as the leader initially, but there's a boss that's just like a little guy, not like literally little, but like little relative to the massive brute of a man that you met originally. Like the same thing as in Final Fantasy VII with like the Shinra president and the big guy always palling around with them. Is this like a common thing, or am I crazy? Regardless, Corbeau and Philip explained that Tawny offered her help to someone in the Rust Syndicate, and as a thank you, they offered her an extremely predatory loan that has $100,000 in principal and is already ballooned up to $1 million in interest. What a thanks, guys. Corbeau offered for me and Lita to do his dirty work to pay off the interest, so Tawny only has to pay off the principal. Is actually paying it off not a valid option? I have so much money, and it's so easy to make more. Corp, buddy, just let me write the check. But I guess with that not being an option, am I part of the Mafia now? When Lyda and I got back to the hotel, Naveen mentioned that Floette was getting ready to use her Light of Ruin on the Rust Syndicate, which is just an atomic bomb. Floette was just gonna blow up a city block for no reason. Now, we were in the middle of having a strategy meeting to deal with the Syndicate when Tawny walked through the door. And before we could talk with Tawny about how dumb it was to, again, take a loan out from the Mafia, Vinny called with 3 more Pokemon for us to battle. Mawile in Sector 6, Barbaracle in Sector 5, Ampharos in Sector 6, but a different Sector 6. So again, stage was set. I knew what to do. Nice. Nice, chat. Get him, Gardevoir. Magical Leaf. I was using the wrong Pokemon. Following the taming of all 3 Mega Evolutions, we were once again greeted by Elle and Zygarde. Now, Elle confirmed my suspicions that the renovations to Prism Tower likely caused the Rogue Mega Evolution and the Mega Crystal Shards. With that new information, I figured since nighttime was right around the corner, I would pre-jack my Challenger ticket so it was ready when the story was ready for me. So I had a feeling it was coming up soon. Once morning came, I was heading back to the hotel when Corbeau called. Over in the Blue District, there were some troublemakers stopping a new tenant from moving into their new apartment, and Corbeau needs me to go solve it. Naturally, I headed over there immediately because I don't want the Mafia breathing down my neck. Turns out these troublemakers were a Ghastly and 2 Gengar, and despite my advocating for squatters' rights, the game forced me to take the side of the landlord who just bought the building and evict the Pokemon. Corbeau showed up to inspect my work and then immediately shipped me off to another task, this time in the sewers. All I needed to do was just clean up some Mega Shards. And this seemed like too easy. Like, what's the catch? Oh, there is none. Okay. But after I destroyed all the shards, Corbeau showed up and started questioning me about L. When he informed me that L is Lysander, which, yeah, I guessed that. I mean, look at him. Now, it was right after Corbeau revealed this information, we got a huge lore drop. Dude, exposed. Provided me with support since I had no family to rely on then. He was a part of Team Flare? I don't know why he did what he did 5 years ago. Okay, so this is 5 years after X and Y. Right? Yeah, this game takes place 5 years post X and Y. And for some reason, I find that hard to believe. Like, that's a lot of urban redevelopment in just 5 years. If it was, I don't know, say 13 years, I could believe it, but 5 seems kind of short. And for some people, like the protagonist to be missing, for Sycamore to be gone, it just seems so odd to me. Weird timeline aside, Corbeau again sent me off to Centrical Plaza, where 2 adults from the Society of Battle Connoisseurs were lecturing little kids about how to battle better, and when I told them to stop, they challenged me to a battle. That's when I learned these 2 chucklefucks, for how high and mighty they act, they just didn't have many fully evolved Pokemon. And the ones they did were like Jumpluff. Needless to say, it was an easy battle. Then Corbeau could completely congratulate me, and a sound came from down the street that we had to check out. Revy and Corbeau? Now here's an unexpected pairing. The CEO of Quasartico and Tawny together. Care to explain all the ruckus? You've heard the rumors that Quasartico's behind all the wild Pokemon coming to the city, right? We want to hear the truth from the CEO. She looks like an undercover reporter. Those rumors are ridiculous. I came here because I'd heard these people might try to start something with Quasartico, and good thing I did. This crowd won't listen to reason. Who are you two? We're trying to keep our city safe. If you're going to get in our way, then you'll have to face my Pokemon. Keep our city safe. Don't make me laugh. Tawny, get the president away from this mess. Got it. This way, ma'am. Okay, so maybe... Is the Rust Syndicate like the mob, but also the Pokemon equivalent of a privatized military? Though I'm not sure how I ended up protecting a scoundrel who won't even repay a debt. You're kinder than you act. Give me a break. Nice people don't end up in my line of work. Still, can't just abandon folks who are in trouble. That's below even me. It seems like they're like also a privatized militia. And this is what I mean. Like, this game is weird. Like, the fact that the game is actively making me side with CEOs and the literal mafia. Like, okay, I'll accept not everyone is going to think that CEOs and landlords are bad. But the mafia? Like, we can agree that the mafia is bad, right? I digress. After we settle the protesters, Jet offers Corbeau, Tawny, and I a lesson into what her goal is. And it kind of feels like integration era rhetoric again, talking about needing safeguards, and Quasartico has a team for Quasartico has a dream for everyone to live in harmony. Like, it's weird, is all I'm saying. That's all. Once I painstakingly crawled my way back to the hotel, Corbeau immediately called me back in to talk yet again. Thanks, Corbeau. I appreciate that. Honestly, man. As it would turn out, though, Corbeau actually called me in to offer my freedom in exchange for a Pokemon battle. I know. I'm as shocked as you are. The Pokemon game wants you to Pokemon battle. Crazy, I know. And as it just so happened to work out, Corbeau's my next rank-up battle. Isn't that a coincidence? There's no way it could have been a result of the Mafia's outside influence over the company rebuilding the entire city, right? Well, anyways, Corbeau has a team of poison types, which were overall... Wait, is that a Gyarados? That's wild. Anyways, the team also includes his Mega Scolipede. which is kind of cool. He looks ready to fly LAX to Orlando at a moment's notice. But overall, the Corbeau fight was pretty simple, and I was also a little over-leveled. Corbeau then told me that Tawny's interest was fully paid off, and he offered for me to join the Rust Syndicate permanently, which was wild. Back at Hotel Z, while discussing how Tawny's going to pay off her debt, which for some reason does, again, not involve my $1 million in my bank account, which wasn't actually $1 million, but it was close. Corbeau checked in to the hotel for no reason other than vibes. Next morning, Corbeau, being apparently extremely impressed with Tawny's housekeeping, gave Tawny a tip of seemingly $100,000 because she was able to immediately pay her debt off. And okay, now that side plot is pretty much finished up, actually, like, how insane is that? Like, she literally went to a loan shark to get money she needed. It's insane. Heading into the next section of the game, AZ determined that through knowing me, Ida and Naveen were now strong enough to use Mega Evolution for their partners, Scrafty and Starmie. Lida and Naveen wanted to test their new Mega Stone, so they both wanted to battle me. Except, Lida still had a Staryu, so it was really Naveen that wanted to test his new Mega Evolution out. Now, the battles themselves weren't that interesting, but on the way to the battle... Oh, I have to... Okay, I have to be over there. Did you guys also just see Feraligator's shadow? Okay, watch the background. Watch the background. Look. He's flying. I love this game so much. And what other game would something like this happen? Now, while we were eating at the cafe, wow, we're here again. I'm sure that's not important. LeBain from the Society of Battle Connoisseurs invited us to a battle tournament on the other side of town. And by us, I mean me and Tawny. Skill diff, I guess. Naveen also said we were not well dressed enough to go to the hotel. We were invited to, so it was time to get a little more dressed up for the occasion. Sure. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, from head to toe, I don't like it. Okay, let's be honest. This outfit's trash. Right? There we go. That's a lot better. With my new drip, I figured it was time to see what the Society of Battle Connoisseurs is about. LeBan led Tawny and I into the basement of this hotel where all the other important NPCs in the game, Ivern, Canary, Corbeau, and the like, before I had time to even process what was going on. Jacinth, the leader of the SBC, introduced herself and was going to explain what was going on. All right, I got to take this call. What's up, Vinny? Got some rogue Mega Evolution? Got it. I'll work out a plan with everyone. Jacinth? Yes, what is it? Really appreciate the invite, but something urgent has come up. Tawny rushed back to the hotel so we could have another strategy meeting. Me, on the other hand, I was still looking for an orange Flabooboo, because for some reason that little critter's the rarest thing in the game. Some things never change, and one of those things is me making everyone wait to save the city. Since night fell, it felt like a good time to get a promotion ticket since it was literally down the street. One promotion ticket and $57,000 later, I was ready to once again save the Fuck Lumio City! Orange Flabooboo, baby! Let's go! Now we can save the city. The objective was familiar, but the threats were different yet again. Frostlass in Aimless Park, Altaria in Magenta Sector 4, and Venusaur in John Sector 8. Now, before we could do the assignments, Jacinth piped in. Wait, Jacinth? How is nobody else noticing this? It's literally another whole ass person in the room. Lita, you are standing in front of everybody, and it's not like the bright pink dress and hair is really good for camouflage either. Turns out she's actually just here to escort Tawny and I back to the tournament, which, like, just think you were here when we talked about how the world is about to end. Okay, not the world. Let me back up for a second. Just Lumio City is about to be destroyed. But you just don't care? How's the view from your ivory tower, Jacinth? Not having to worry about the city being brought to its knees. That must be a nice feeling, huh? Regardless, first up on the list was Altaria. And I would be getting help from Lida, which, thank God, surely one of her water types knows an ice type move, right? Dude, let's go. This is light work. Roll the montage. Nice. Woo. The fights definitely are getting harder, that's for sure. Nice. Frostlight took some pages out of the Gigantamax Lapras book. For sure, for sure. Nice. Woo! I've definitely gotten better at those fights, for sure. And it was after this last battle, Jacinth yet again returned to tell us to go back to the tournament or she will haunt us forever. Now, Tawny, you know, the trainer known for making good decisions like taking loans from the Mafia, decides to not just handle the problem by competing in the tournament, but rather return to the hotel so she could plan to return to the tournament. That was when there was a weird noise outside. Oh, shit. Is this a battle zone? Gonna be like 6 battles! I don't remember battle zones being purple. Synth decided to trap us in the hotel area and force us to battle, before we could even explain that we were literally heading back there and just needed to, again, save the city from collapsing before we could compete in the tournament. The first 2 trainers were lackeys, not concerned. The third battle, though, Lebane is a different story. Her team is full of heavy hitters. Noivern, Tyrantrum, Garchomp, and Mega Dragalge, the Pokemon with a Cancer Beam. I also got a lore drop that Leban at some point was a powerful trainer like Jacinth, but lost a battle to her, now has to wear this dress and be Jacinth's personal assistant. It was then I got my next promotion. It's Jacinth, isn't it? Was I right? Was I right? I was right. I was right. Yeah, okay, I didn't include a clip, but like 20 minutes ago, I called this. Like, I think I could write the next Legends game. And honestly, Pokemon, my DMs are open. Before I could battle Jacinth, I had to get started with my 3rd Canary battle. And it's honestly so weird because when I battled her the first time, she said she wasn't a huge fan of battling, but now I've battled her the most. And this time the battle was easy, just like every other time. My next battle was against Ivor, who I was fairly fresh on since I just did this. And also, Gardevoir still exists, and so does Delphox. Third was Corbeau. Now, Corbeau was essentially the same fight. With Mega Scolipede being such a tank, this was the first time that I both had to Mega Evolve a Pokemon, that being Feraligatr, and use a healing item, again, Feraligatr, during this entire tournament. Last but not least, my promotion match, Jacinth. Jacinth is a master of fairy... What, Zygarde? What is Zygarde doing here? L is here too? Okay, I guess we're battling Zygarde first. This time, however, I had to battle Zygarde, and it's 50% for me. Dude, it was not a problem. This was all so easy, but alas, it's time for Jacinth. Jacinth is a master of fairy-type Pokemon. Now, with the help of my dutiful Aegislash, Carbink was no problem, being 4 times weak to Steel. Next up was Mawile, and Delphox made quick work of that. That's fair, I didn't switch out fast enough. A point-blank flamethrower. Aurorus, while not being a fairy type, was still scary for Delphox, so I left it to Feraligatr. Counter the scary alligator, Jacinth sent out Gardevoir. Not paying attention to how many Pokemon she had left, I originally assumed Jacinth's Mega Evolution. However, I did realize I was wrong while being left bated in breath to see what would get the power of her Keystone. While pondering this, I decided Ampharos had a job to ferry Gardevoir to a one-way trip with God. And that is when I saw yet another new Mega Evolution. Mega Clefable. Clefable? Who took a shit on your head? Who did this to you? Yes! Oh my god, Aegislash, you're my goat. And just like that, in what, 4 days, I've reached rank B in the Royale. Being one step closer to making my dream come true. That's what it is, right? I get a wish. Granted, I don't know. I'm too lazy to scroll up a 19-page script to find out. More importantly, at this point, I Googled how many main missions there were and knew I only had 7 missions left, 3 of which would be another Mega Battle boss run. Back at the hotel, the team correctly points out that both Floette and AZ are missing from dinner when we find out they're on the roof. See what AZ and Floette are talking about? Angie. You were meant to be a guardian of the city, towering over her and watching her as always. A 3,000-year-old desire, once foolishly held. A 3,000-year-old mistake, so very foolishly made. It even cost me you, my beloved Floette. Now these bright young lives must pay my remaining debts, or Lumios's future will be lost. Is the A for Ange? Also, please let me know, is it Ange, like short for Angie, or is it Angie? Like, oh, I'm so Angie. I really don't know, but I'm going to keep calling it Angie because I think it's funnier. The next morning, after waking up in my 3-piece suit, AZ told us that Lumios Tower is getting dangerously close to causing a mass extinction event. Tawny then said she is clearly the best Mega Evolution user when I'm a whole ass rank ahead of her. Like, Tawny, sit on the bench, little bro, watch a master at work, get mogged, nerd. Before I could flame Tawny for it, Vinny hit us up and told Tawny and I had to get to Quasartico because Jet is wanting to tell us something. This is when we got the full history of what was going on. Particularly that this all happened because property values were falling. Figures, right? Figures it would be property values that causes Quasartico to start their work on the city. This is when I in chat asked a very important question. I also wonder what happened to the XY protagonist. I guess they would technically be the champion, right? Like, Serena and Caleb surely are just sitting at the Elite Four, like, sup? Oh, Lumio City is about to die? Not my problem. Not my problem. If someone gets through the Elite Four, hit me up, but until then, I don't care. But yet again, we've been tasked with what is called a MASH A simulator, and I don't remember if I was talking about the meeting or the actual battles, but looking back, I think both are true. Dragonite and Avert Sector 4, John Sector 4 is a Tyranitar, Blue Sector 9 is a Starmie, easy as pie, roll the montage. Wait, actually, before the montage, I just want to bring it up. I was going to sit at a bench and wait for it to rain to evolve Sliggoo into Goodra. When it did rain, I found this Alpha Goomy and just evolved that one instead. Okay, now montage it. It feels like this is what the entire like whole last boss rush was them just going, oh, so Gardevoir is beating the shit out of me, but this guy's telling Gardevoir what to do. Get him, Aegislash. Bitch. Oh, hell yeah. Yes! No doubt there's already a billion Discord meme gifs about Mega Starmie. Probably. That same night, Tawny asked AZ how we plan on determining who the strongest Mega Evolutioner is the word that just came out of my mouth, and that is staying in the video. His answer was essentially vibes, and Naveen said I had the best vibes, of which Tawny did not agree, and yet again, before I got the chance to flame Tawny's ass for that. Well, that must be Revy. Says who? Promotion match? Is it Tawny? Oh. Grisham? Who? Grisham. Who the hell is Grisham? This is like Canary, but worse, because we don't have a Grisham tier 3 sub in Team MZ. So being the genius that I am, I suggested we ask the person whose whole fucking job it is to know everything about this city, Emma. And before I could get my promo ticket ready, I noticed something. Yoo-doo-doo. Oh, I feel so... He's coughing. Chat, he's gonna die. Talking to Emma, we hit the 2 most common dialogue sets in every Pokemon game. 1, the thing you want to know about is really dangerous. 2, beat me in a Pokemon battle for me to tell you. Beautiful Gardevoir. Beautiful. Beautiful Delphox. Whoa, punny. Now all of a sudden I'm questioning who you got these Pokemon from. Alright, meet God. There we go. I mean, are we really surprised when I say that was easy? I mean, I have a team of full beasts at this point. Not excluding Ampharos, who has the Meet God move. I mean, not even Mega Malamar was any challenge. At this point in the game, I was trying to minimize how much I was Mega Evolving just to feel something while playing. Emma told me that after Team Flare fell, some people made moves to ensure Team Flare would have a long-lasting life. I get directed to ask Mabel more about what happened to Team Flare since she took a plea deal and will probably be more willing to give up information, so to the lab I go. When I got there and told Mabel I wanted to know more, she played dumb, asking me who Grisham was. Okay, Mabel, cut this shit. And the protagonist isn't safe here either, considering they're shocked about Mabel being a part of Team Flare, even though she has the Team Flare branded gaming chair and laptop like a member of FaZe Clan. Mabel didn't have too much information for me other than to check out the Flare Nouveau Cafe in Centrico. The guy in the truck is Grisham. Again, shocker considering the logo on the food truck. Grisham and Grizel put a location in my phone and told me to meet them there to learn the truth about what happened 5 years ago. Now, if you've made it this far in the video and didn't play the original X and Y games, this coffee shop might not look like much. And if you did play those games, you may even be like me and not notice anything super specific about this coffee shop since those games came out over a decade ago. But instead of telling you what it is, I'd rather just allow you, the viewer, to enjoy this moment with me of learning what has really been going on in and around Lumiose since the weapon was destroyed 5 years ago, and my reaction to everything that transpired from this moment on. The fiery red of Lysander's burning passion. That is what fills this Lysander Cafe. And here in this place, I'd like to explain to you why I chose to battle in the Royale. So we begin with Team Flare. You see, the group known as Team Flare provided a place for people to come together and help one another, all to achieve a more beautiful world. However, our leader, a man named Lysander, grew disillusioned with humanity over time. Fearing what the future might bring, he set his sights on a new goal of his own, to reduce the number of people in the world. In the end, Lysander made a truly foolish choice. He chose to use the ultimate weapon. You know about the ultimate weapon, which nearly burned Kalos region off the map. The weapon was AZ's creation. You may only see AZ as the kindly figure who has provided you with a place to call home. But if he had never built something so horrifying as that ultimate weapon, then Lysander would have never been driven to such madness. and we in Team Flare wouldn't have become society's outcasts. And now it appears AZ is out to save Lumios, relying on the support of your Team MZ. Honestly, it's laughable. My apologies. I imagine you don't know how to respond to such an unexpected outpouring. Of course, you might not even believe a word that I've said. That's why I invite you to witness the truth for yourself. Oh, shit! Okay, this is cool. This is so crazy. I don't even know what to say. This is so cool. Just getting to revisit this, even if it is in ruins, getting to come back and like seeing it as like a space that you can walk through is really cool. Big fan of this part. I am. Let's see what awaits us on floor 2. Oh. The Pokeball cleanup guy is going to have to come down here now. Nothing. It's just a prison cage. Am I about to find Xerneas and Yveltal? Hang on. Hang on. What is that? Sort of machinery powered back on in response to your presence. Security check initialized. Possession of all keycards have been confirmed. Commencing partial reboot of systems. Oh, it's Mega Floette. 4 files are available for playback. The device, the fuel, the legends, our shared dream. The device that grants life. The device was created 3,000 years in the past. It was originally designed to restore life to a Pokemon that had perished. We have found this ultimate weapon buried in the earth beneath Geosenge Town. It has been well preserved. We believe we have it operational with a little work. But we have not yet found the necessary key to activate the weapon. We believe AZ should still possess it, since he was the machine's creator. We must find him and capture him without delay. The fuel. The device that grants life, in fact, grants the deceased life stolen from other Pokemon. This is because the basic function of the device is to distill energy into its purest form, then emit that distilled energy. This emission can take the form of convection, radiation, or conduction. Thus, life can be conducted back into a Pokemon that had lost its own, allowing it to be revived. What then would occur if we were to fuel the device with the energy of a legendary Pokemon? The legends. Kalos is said to have 2 legendary Pokemon? Xerneas, which represents life and rebirth. Yveltal, representing destruction and death. Xerneas is coming back to VGC, baby! The power to grant life and the power to steal life. These are mysterious abilities that even science has not been able to decode. What would happen to the world if we were to use such power to activate the ultimate weapon? As the world grows wealthier, the number of Pokemon and people will only continue to grow. And that growth will invite new difficulties. In time, life will fill every corner of the planet until no more life can be sustained. When there is only one of something, it cannot be shared. If something cannot be shared, it will be fought over. If something is fought over, some must survive without it. The only way to create a world where people live in a beauty, a world without conflict or theft, is to reduce the number of living things. That's the Tree of Life and the Cocoon of Destruction right there. My comrades in Team Flare, the time has come to lead the world towards a more beautiful nature. Zygarde? Okay, chat, this is a really tense moment. I have to be right back. I am so sorry. Imagine I came back and I was wearing a shirt that says I love Xerneas, and the back said Xerneas loving life cell. Have you learned the secret of the ultimate weapon? How truly abominable it was. AZ created that weapon. Then 1,000 years later, he also made a device that now dwells within Prism Tower. Why are you here? Zygarde seemed to wish that I come to this place. I have lost most of my memories, and yet this place does bring back something. What I remember most clearly is AZ. When I spoke with him 5 years ago, through the bars of his cell, I did not know his true intent. But I did learn of the device within Prism Tower. I set my mind on activating both the ultimate weapon and that device. But to activate the device required a certain Pokemon, one particular Floette. There was no way to know where that Floette could be found. That led me to abandon my plans for the tower's device. But the ultimate weapon could still be activated using the card AZ carried. And so I did. There was an explosion, I remember that much, though I cannot recall the cause of it. Perhaps the weapon was incomplete. I was buried deep in the earth, together with Team Flare's secret base. But you're still alive. Zygarde saved me. It worked to protect all living creatures in the area from the light raining down, the deadly light of the ultimate weapon. In doing so, Zygarde exhausted its own power. But at the weapon's activation, the device in Prism Tower was awakened as well, sensing danger. Now it has become a threat to Lumiose. It could fully lose control at any time. To stop the device and protect this city, Zygarde must regain its true power. It has given me a mission. Sooner or later, the tower will enter a frenzied state similar to Rogue Mega Evolution. What? The only one who can bring it back under control is AZ's Floette. We need the Eternal Flower, and a trainer who can draw forth her full power. Use Exodia? Damn, I didn't think of that! This is the truth I know. And now you have learned all those young people waiting in Lysander's cafe want you to know. Go and speak with Grisham and with AZ, then do what must be done. Back at the hotel, AZ already knew what I was up to. Thanks, Emma. With the rest of Team MZ joined us in the lobby, AZ was ready and willing to give us the rest of the story. Revy, you know of the ultimate weapon, don't you? And I shall tell you of the terrible sins I have committed and of my regrets. In the war that occurred 3,000 years ago, many things were lost. So many Pokemon had their futures stolen. People lost the everyday lives they'd known. And my Floette was sent to the front lines, where she lost her life. I made a device, a machine that could grant life, also that I could revive my beloved Floette. I brought Floette back to life. I got back what I had loved most. But my rage had not subsided. I could not forgive the world that had hurt the Pokemon that I loved. We're getting it again? In my rage, I remade my device into the ultimate weapon. I put an end to the senseless conflict that would have taken everything from us by becoming destruction itself. The light fired from the ultimate weapon reached into the heavens, poured down, burning away all that rested upon the earth. But Floette must have known the truth. She must have realized that the life I'd given her was stolen from so many other Pokemon. She left me. I wandered alone for 3,000 years. Kiruru. Seriously? 3,000 whole years? During those long years of aimless wandering, a man of great power asked me for my help. He said he wanted a way to protect Kalos. At this, I thought to myself, I cannot make another device that would take from others, but perhaps I could make one that would share the eternal life I had bestowed on Floette. That's what Ainge is. That's what's hidden deep within Prism Tower. I built Ainge to give meaning to the eternal life I had burdened Floette with. It was, in one sense, my attempt to atone to Floette for what I'd done. I dreamed of the day I could use Ainge after reuniting with Floette at last. That day did not come to pass, but that was because we were living in a time of peace. But now Ainge, the tower is emitting excessive amounts of mega power, even without Floette present. This is only conjecture on my part, but I believe it may be related to the ultimate weapon being fired 5 years ago. That shock awoke Ainge and has caused the mega power contained within it to spill forth. It has led to this rampant rogue mega evolution. The Pokemon suffer. The people come to harm. There's only one way to put an end to the pain. A Mega Evolution user must Mega Evolve Floette and together reach the control panel. Never could have imagined that you and Floette had that kind of history. And the tower too. So we need the strongest Mega Evolution user to stop the tower from going berserk. I have a question. Why would Floette be able to Mega Evolve at all? Normally Pokemon can only Mega Evolve when they aren't capable of evolving any further. Shouldn't Floette be able to evolve into Florges? Why Floette cannot evolve? Perhaps because she is a special Pokemon, having received the lives of so many others. Though that is only my conjecture. Floette returning to my side again after 3,000 years was an act of forgiveness. But she likely also returned to me so that I could atone for my sins by stopping the tower. However, I no longer have it in me to do battle as a trainer. But I'm sure you never dreamed the tower would go berserk like this. It doesn't matter. AZ still made this awful mess and Team MZ is stuck cleaning it up. Naveen. I appreciate that AZ is trying to right his wrongs, and I owe him as much as any of us do. I don't want to be the bad guy anymore than the rest of you, but accountability matters. You do realize we might die trying to fix all of this, don't you? Naveen is correct in what he says. I continue to cause you children nothing but trouble because of my own powerlessness. I am truly sorry. I understand, AZ. Just leave this to Team MZ. Revy. It's up to us to keep the power from going wild, and that means you've got to beat Grisham. We'll be the ones to stop the tower, not Grisham and Team Flare Nouveau. Now go earn a challenger's ticket so you can challenge him. Thank you. I will forever be grateful for meeting you all. Jesus. The last thing I had to do before putting Ainge to rest was defeat Grisham in my promotion. I'm keeping the suit on for this. Your resolve is nothing compared to my own. You carry nothing like the burdens that I carry. And yet you think you'll be able to save Lumiose. I will protect Lumiose. May the flames of Team Flare rage strong and true. Burn away all our shames and regrets. Charizard, let your dark flames pour forth. He's got Mega Charizard X. Damn. Oh, Delphox, no. Okay. Right. All right. Mega Charizard? Yeah. My wasted youth. Nothing but ash and ruin. Mega Evolve and burn it all away, Charizard. Ampharos, you've been with me from the start. Make this bastard pay. I don't know. I didn't have anything like equally cool to say to him. Yes! And Charizard meets God. There we go. With one final battle, I proved that I am the strongest Mega Evolution user in all of Lumia. Grisham gracefully accepted defeat and left me with one request: save the city. And I intended to do just that. The only question remaining was how. Well, before we could plan out what we were going to do, there was a loud boom. Running up to the roof of the hotel, me and the rest of Team MZ were met with Prism Tower coated in glowing pink haze. AZ knew immediately what this was. Angie was waking up. No time to waste. I rushed to the tower, and me and Tawny had to decide who was going to team up with Floette and calm the tower. And of course, the only way to do that was a battle. Forgot Meowstic's not in DD. Meowstic is not normal type. You might be Team MZ's secret weapon, but I'm our leader for a reason. Oh, shit. I may not have found the person I came here for yet, but I've met so many people I care about. I'm going to be the one to fix the tower with Floette so everyone can keep living their happy lives. I'm going to protect everyone in Lumios. I can't go losing to you. I just have a feeling she's going to snap, man. Speechless now. Mega Meganium, here we go. I can't believe you got me down to my last Pokemon. You're a great trainer, that's for sure. Goodra is fine. You did what you needed to do. I feel bad. I didn't even Mega Evolve to win. I mean, I'm undefeated against her. You thought that was going to change now? The plan was simple. I take Floette up to the... What the fuck? I hit rank A first. I defeated Tawny in battle to prove I'm the strongest Mega Evolution user. This is supposed to be my task. Anyways, let's just see if Tawny can do it. Oh. Turn on the TV. It doesn't matter what channel. A bomb has hit Prism Tower. I just want to butt in here and say this game really, really needs some voice acting for this part. Might as well be a throne. Here we go, ready to roll. Hey, Revy, you better be watching. This reminds me, you still got to star on my Hotel Z ad when all this is done. Is she gonna die too? Are they just killing everybody? All right, Floette, let's do this. This is Vinny speaking. The light from the tower appears to be fading. Over. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Aura! shit. AZ, is this supposed to be happening? AZ? Is this supposed to happen? AZ, I need you to tell me right now. Is this happening? Is this okay? God damn it, Tawny. I should have just been the one to do it. Time for Plan B. Also known as Plan Revels Saves the City. What we've been doing the whole time. From the top of Prism Tower, Tawny was able to spot Zygarde, seemingly waiting for me on the other side of the city. Getting there was going to be a challenge, and any good challenge requires a good strategy. Team MZ's sporadic strategy meeting was a little hijacked. Canary, Corbeau, Ivor, and everyone else I met during my time in Lumiose appeared ready to help not only me, but the city they all love. Everyone split into groups of 2, scattered counterclockwise around Prism Tower to escort me through the city. Even though clockwise is way closer, we somehow decided this was the way to go. First up was Ivor and Gwent. Every stop I have is blocked by rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, the true test of any trainer. Round 1, it was Kangaskhan, Pidgeot, and Garchomp. It wasn't easy, but we pulled through, clearing the path just in time for more to show. Gwen led the second set of rogue Mega Pokemon away from Ivor and I, so I could escape and make it to the second checkpoint, where Canary and Tarragon were waiting for me with their respective groups of supporters. Tarragon and his employees were building me scaffolding to get across quicker when we were ambushed by a Mega Blastoise and Mega Steelix. Canary and I battled to give the construction crew cover while they finished their project. I, just for one, hope the employees are getting paid overtime. While there was one less Pokemon this time, it was tougher. Doubled by the fact I was hit by a couple of the moves and almost completely blacked out. But my team was able to hang on long enough to calm these two just in time for the construction to be. With the scaffolding done, all that was left is for me to traverse the course and get to checkpoint 3. Jacinthe and Labane. Well, okay, actually just Labane. Jacinthe was not willing to put her Pokemon on the line for the city, I guess. But honestly, that's okay. I like Labane more personally. I mean, she has the Pokemon with the Cancer Beam. That just seems more OP than Clefable that has a shit on its head. This time around, it was Aggron and Salamence blocking us, but they were no match for us, considering the Cancer Beam Pokemon. Before I knew it, I was on to checkpoint 4 with Corbeau and the Rust Syndicate. And, okay, I know I've done this a lot, but I promise watching this next part live and getting my reaction is better than anything I could possibly put to words. My grunts are giving their all, and as their leader, I need to give as much as them and then some. No fucking way. My word's my bond, and I'm not breaking either tonight. This is our highest calling, literally. I mean, don't dilly-dally. You better climb up quick, because I don't know how long we'll last. Do you see why now? Do you see why? Traversing the rooftops, I was cut off by Aerodactyl, Metagross, and Alakazam. And they cut me off with no support. The only thing running through my mind, is this it? Did the whole city come out to help just for it all to end here? I mean, I have faith in Feraligatr and the crew, but there's just no way. 1 at a time, sure, but 3 against 1, it's just not possible. Right as I was ready to give it all I've got, support showed. Grisham and Grizel, here to save the city as they promised if I ever needed it. Those 3 Pokemon were relatively quick work with the help, and just like every other time, Grizz and Grizel stayed behind to stop another wave of rogue Megas as I ventured forward to finally reach Zygarde. They led me up more rooftops to get a better view of Angie and assess what needed to be done. But that wasn't all we were doing atop the buildings of Lumiose. Aura. The Zygarde cell from the beginning. Zygarde complete is here. Zygarde took off to handle the top where Floette and Tawny are, while I handled 2 tentacles that came out of the bottom. Every time the tentacles go down, it gives Zygarde an opening to do some damage to the tower itself. And this was the game plan. Me on the ground, Zygarde in the skies, working together side by side for Lumiose. Zygarde and I were eventually able to calm the tower, letting Floette take it over and put Angie to rest once and for all. At least, that's what I thought. Kind of. Not really. No, that's the flower petal. Oh, shit. What is about to happen? It can't be. No. No way. Ange Flyers Floet's Light of Ruin while it's all powered up like this. There won't be any Lumiose left to rebuild. Something inside your satchel is shaking? It's the pebble! Oh my god, Mega Zygarde is real. What kind of power is emanating from your pebble? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh. Like a fucking kid on Christmas, I am. Is Zygarde gonna catch it? Dude, is Zygarde gonna Iron Man Avengers 1 this thing? Nile Light? So beautiful now. Oh, what? Oh, that's a bad one. As ever, it is our choice today that shapes our tomorrows. I will forever be grateful to you, Team MZ, my dear friends. I'm taking so many screenshots, chat. I don't give a fuck. Pokemon Legends ZA. With Lumio City finally saved and the credits begin to roll, I just want to say, if you haven't already, this game is worth picking up. This was hands down my favorite story in a Pokemon game since the last Legends game, honestly. Something I did not admit on stream. But here at the end, I was getting a little choked up. Over the course of my playthrough, I genuinely grew to love Lumio City and the characters I met along the way. And thank you, genuinely, for sticking through what I am sure is a long video and going on this adventure with me. If you enjoyed watching or even just listening while doing chores around the house, all I ask is that you interact with the video somehow. Like, subscribe, comment, anything at all helps more than you know. On that note, my name is Revels. I hope you enjoyed. Take care and enjoy the final scene of Pokemon Legends ZA. Who's the grave for? Even his grave is imposing. I guess that's fitting for AZ in a way. Seems like he handled all the preparations for it by himself. He had me take his measurements, but he told me it was so I could make him some new clothes. Not so he could have his grave dug. Oh my god. Keep watching over Lumio's AZ. We'll make sure it becomes like you wanted. A city of harmony between us and Pokemon. For 3,000 long years, he bid farewell to so many, and now we bid farewell to him. Go home. I think we need a good meal. It'll be that curry again, I suppose. Got so much left to take care of. So many things to clean up and set right. Oh my god. Thank you for everything, AZ. I didn't actually think he was gonna die. And it's the eternal flower? Then as calm begins to return to the city,